Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
In this week's episode, Juan explains that you may think you're country, but are you slice Vienna sausages in half so they don't roll off the bread when you make a sandwich country? Didn't think so. And then there was that one boy who drank the Vienna sausage juice from the can. That's just wrong. Delicious, but wrong. And speaking of delicious and wrong, this is Dave and Juan. Ball!
And three.
Number 2.
That's almost always followed by 1.
Woohoo!
There you go. There you go. Back on again. We're the only people that remember, care about this, but it is a Saturday morning.
That's right.
Yet again.
Day that I had to set my alarm for this.
Set the alarm to wake up for it. So America, looking you right in the eye. You're
Sleepy, you're welcome.
welcome. You are absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. It's Saturday morning. Go back, guys. Theater of the mind. Think about what you were doing you're probably watching this on a Monday, maybe a Tuesday. You're thinking, oh, Saturday. What was I doing Saturday morning? I can tell you what I was doing. This. Right here.
Right. It's pretty consistent now.
Got up, got at it. And a couple of weenies complaining about, man, I had to set my alarm for 9 o'clock.
I was getting text messages at 7 o'clock this morning from work stuff. And it's like, man, don't you people sleep?
Yeah. Do you put them on
Oh,
silent?
yeah. That's on silent.
Yeah, I go through it. There are certain chains that you don't you got that point where stuff starts getting too active. Like now I gotta mute this I gotta mute this group. But
Yeah. They're all hours. Yeah, they don't know I need to sleep from 9 to 9.
At least the coffee machine, our coffee pot worked this morning, midweek. This is first world problems. And you find yourself doing stuff, my wife and I have been married for, I don't know, 63, 64 years. It's been a while. And I just say that because
That went right
that's
over
going to be
my head
30,
for a
man. We're
second.
knocking on 30. It'll be 30 in December, if she decides to, to
Hang around.
hopefully, yeah. So someday during the week, and she typically gets up before me. I mean, I'm the kind, like a lot of times I got to get up pre-dawn if I'm traveling or, so I can get up early, but if I don't have to, if I don't have anything on my agenda till 10 o'clock.
You balance it out, man.
Now, and I'm bad this way. I do feel better. I do feel more productive, even if I'm tired. If I get out of bed, get a cup of coffee, come on in the office, sit down at the desk, and then start. I know that. I know that I get a better jump. I feel better. Like you get some things done, and later on you say, "Man, it must be 1 o'clock in the afternoon." It's like 9 in the morning.
Right. You feel better after you did it.
Yes.
Not in the process of, that whole getting up early, the thought of, man, after I'm done with all this, I'm going to feel better that I did it. That never pops in.
It's sort of working out, right? Man, I hate every minute of it, but I'm going to feel
Couldn't tell
better
you.
after. So listen,
Couldn't tell you.
so my wife gets up before me as usual, and she's, I don't know, I can hear some stuff going on in the kitchen, or I don't even know what was something different. So I get up, and our Keurig coffee maker, which is, I mean, that just as soon, thankfully my wife and I were not on oxygen. We're not on, neither of us are reliant on a machine to keep us alive. That's about the closest thing to a machine that's going to keep us.
So when you're older, you'll have your oxygen tank on a little cart and your Keurig.
Oh man, listen, dude, if the coffee pot goes out, and so she's done well with this. She'll YouTube anything. YouTube it, see what's going on, and it says it needs to be descaled. I was like, huh? How do you? It says we need vinegar and I'm just like, I don't even understand how that would work, how it would. right? It would start, and the machine was just kicking off, and like pressure building up. And next thing you know, I'm listening to this guy's video she's watching, and it says, "Okay, these are two tiny screws, but they're not too bad." And I'm like, I am not. I am not doing any. Neither are you. I'm not going to allow you to start taking a coffee pot apart. That's just not who we are. It's not going to end well. I said, I'll go to Walmart right now.
Right now.
I'm going to go. No, I don't want to waste money if it doesn't. Right. She literally goes to the food town just down the street from here to get some vinegar. We're talking is like, I don't know, it's probably like 6:45 in the morning now. My wife's going to buy white. Apparently we don't. White vinegar is not something we have an abundance of in the Martin household, but
apparently it's got a lot of different uses.
Shows you how bad this is, man. I swear this is true. We have an old Keurig that wasn't working very well back in the day when I guess we got the new one. I don't even know how this works. I think the one we're using now, my son had in a dorm room or something. I don't know. And I'm like, oh, we got an old Keurig in a closet upstairs. So I'll go bring that bad boy down. Now we got two not quite working Keurig machines. You know, we're like, it's like, I don't know. I've never watched Breaking Bad. I don't know what the lab scenes were like, but eventually, I don't know, man. It just
Did you get them both running?
We got the other one running. I don't know what's wrong with the I don't know. At some point, right? Because look, they make things breakable now. They just are. You know, it just if you get 2 years out of a Keurig, I'm sorry. I know they don't tell you that in the advertising, right? That's not on the box.
Well, especially you use it every day. I mean, that's
mercilessly. But the original ones, if you can get your hands on I think we gave one to my mom and dad. Dude, it may be 10 years ago. It may be 10 years. Whenever the Keurigs came out. And for a while, nobody was getting them because, Joe, that's expensive, man. You know, like, I like coffee, but not, you know. And then it kind of came down. But I want to say they got the original. Like, so like when a lot of times when things first roll out, they build them right. You know,
yeah.
then when everybody wants them.
Right, because the first person who did it, you know, they've got the patent and they're doing it right. Then everybody else is trying to match it and missing things. I remember when they first, and I don't drink coffee, but I remember when they first came out, a lot of people here wasn't getting them because Community Coffee didn't make the C cups, or whatever you call them, or K cups.
Bro, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. I need my Community. I grew up with Golden Key. I don't even know if they still make Golden Key coffee. They might, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why that was our
I pass by the community roasting plant every day.
And you smell it every day?
I smell it.
Mm-hmm. It's the smell of
It's
coffee.
One of those smells, though, that it's like, yeah, kind of good, kind of nasty. You can't decide which.
I guess if you're not, you know, they say if you're not a coffee drinker by the time you reach like your 20s or something, you probably never will be. Right now, my wife broke that. My wife, I ended up turning her into a coffee drinker, and not that I tried to, but I mean, just being around her. She's, you know, she doesn't drink like, I don't know, our family, and that's a family thing too. I guess you grow up with it, man. My family consumes some coffee, man. I mean, yeah. and I think I do a lot. Well, my wife still talks about first time she started coming, visiting, my mom and dad. That is one of the first times she ever saw there was always a pot of coffee on. Always. Morning, noon, and
just
night.
In case.
Morning,
you gotta
noon,
have for
and
you,
night.
or just in case you get company, or let me brew a fresh pot.
I always thought my dad was the only guy I knew who would drink room temperature coffee.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And I always thought that was the most bizarre thing in the world. Now my younger son ices everything. I guess.
Well, yeah,
that's a little...
iced coffee is a thing.
Right. But I mean, even then, it's like, well, so it's not that big of a jump, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like, coffee's either hot or it's not hot. And it's talking about a subject you care a lot about. Well, you're in the food, whatever distribution business, man. I guess y'all don't provide
not community,
coffee
but we do coffee.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's coffee service.
What's,
I mean, most places down here, just, like if you go to a convenience store, they've got somebody servicing that coffee pot. Like in most places here, it's community coffee. And it's just people who service, who sell to those stores, and they come in, clean it up, set up all the equipment, service the equipment.
They do that. I said I didn't realize that we weren't trusting Bev behind the counter.
Now the people in the stores will make the coffee every day.
Right.
But it's, they're checking all the equipment and everything and making sure it's right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was in stores all week again. This week, exhausting my old body.
Come on now.
Dude, it's rough. Then I realized somebody had a rolling stool, and that became my stool for the week, because I ain't squatting down or sitting on the floor.
And you're not doing those lower shelves. I'm just not going to do the lower shelves.
No, it was funny because yesterday, somebody said that I was going to be in a store by myself, and my boss said, "Well, the top half of the shelves will look great."
He knows who he hired.
That's right.
He knows.
But so you're sitting in there all day, every day, and I don't know. I like to pay attention to people, and the general public is an interesting group, where you just the type of people who walk into convenience stores on a day-to-day basis is odd. One morning we're in a store, and I didn't see him because I was on my stool behind the counter, but I think this dude walked in with a jam box. I couldn't figure out, he had loud blaring music, and unless he drove his car in, I don't know where the music was coming from, but it was on him. The stores all play different music, and when I tell you, I've heard everything this week, from the most urban rap to the most honky tonk country, to classic rock, to top 40, to some store that had 10 songs on a playlist and just kept rotating it.
It drives
the one that was playing the rap switched to country at about 10 in the morning. And one of the guys, who's a cool guy, I like him a lot, he tells them, he said, "Oh, y'all could have kept that on. I don't know why y'all switched it." I said, "You're the whitest dude in this room, man. Shut up. Stop acting like you're into that stuff."
Well, maybe they know. They may know the clientele. They may know who comes in at certain times of the day.
I guess, I don't know. They said they are told what time to play what. So
certain types of music may encourage people to purchase more
certain things. Who knows?
That's like that old joke, I mean, like, "Oh man, this club is playing my jams. Oh man, this whatever." And then it turns out, "Oh, that supermarket's playing my jam."
Right? Yeah. Now it's in the elevator.
Yeah, you started noticing, like, wow, when did they start playing all this 80s music in in the store? But
I'm all right with that.
Watching the general public is
well, then you have people who, I guess, who come in regularly and get to know the people who work in the store. They had one cashier, or store attendant, whatever their title is, who told the customer, "Oh, so and so's leaving. Her last day is Friday. You need to stop by and give her condolences." Condolences? What does that mean? Did she die? Did her husband die? But I think she just misused the word. I didn't want to correct her.
That.
I did want to, but I didn't.
You playing all this stuff in your head, and you realize, "Oh, babe, that's just not the word you wanted to use." But
right.
We've all done that. We've done that on this podcast.
But the best part is when people come in, the irate customers who are irate for no reason. So one day you got one girl who was either high or loaded, who is, they've got all the vape stuff in a display case. So I guess you've got to ask for that.
Oh man.
And she asked one guy who's working with us, and the guy's kind of in the wind. She just said, "Can you read this for me?" And I know he didn't hear. Then she starts saying, "Oh, just keep on walking. Keep on walking. I asked you to read, and you don't, And I, from across, I said, "Ma'am, he doesn't work here." He wasn't ignoring you. And she said, he can read though. He can read. And I wanted to say, well, but apparently you can't.
Oh man.
But then she proceeded. She was in the store for 20, 30 minutes. It was one of those type of people who, how much is this? Okay, we'll take that off. Now, how much is that? Oh, wait. Oh, look, it said $3.99 over there. You're saying, or it said $3.95 over there, not $3.99.
Oh man. And this is at the checkout?
Yeah. So
look, well, apparently she can't count either. So I mean, it's hard. It's hard going through if you can't read and you can't really keep those numbers in your head.
Right. They had a guy back there who was working with us. I think her bill was $21, and he said it was all he could do just to not pay for it, just to stop hearing her.
So I think we may have even mentioned this before. I have total understanding. I am not upset with people, dude. I know it's tough. Times are tough. You gotta, right? You got a budget. Everybody's got a budget.
Yeah.
I only got so much money, and this is what I can spend. But you got to do a little bit of the work before you get up there.
Oh, right.
You can't. This is not how the process works. The process doesn't work like, all right, we're gonna go play Price is Right, and in a store and get on up there, and or it's when they start the ones that are scanning themselves. Doot. Oh no, and then try to figure out how to unscan stuff. But hey, man, God
she wasn't
bless
buying
America.
Essentials, trust me.
That's the sort of thing too. Wait, you want me to read this vape? Well, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
the best one was it was in the morning, and I don't know, she buying some liquor or vape or something. I don't know. Apparently they asked her for an ID. She went off on that, and it was had a kid with her, but every vulgar word yelled to the store employee for wanting to check her ID back and forth, to where they threatened to call a cop on her. And took about 3 times before she would leave.
So you wonder, it's enough to make you want to walk into some of these convenience stores and find the employees and just hand them some money. Just say, you know what? I just appreciate the fact we need these places to exist for society to function. And you folks are dealing with bizarre, but that's just anywhere, man. And that's I don't know. That was the old joke.
No, it's odd because that's what I said, man. That's crazy. That's nothing. That's 3 times a day. And these are nicer stores in nicer areas. So it's not like it's just some,
dude, you're dealing with the general public. The general public is pretty generally crazy.
Public.
Yeah. What's our line? If you want to move to a neighborhood, if you're thinking about moving to an area, where do you go? Go to the Walmart,
baby.
Go to the Walmart, walk around the Walmart. And this is going to show you at different times of the day, right? Because that's the thing.
When do you like to shop? You go in the mornings? It could be fun.
Man, I told that to my wife the other day. For some reason, I had to be in a Walmart, our local Walmart here. I say our local Walmart. We probably got 5 within 15 minutes of me. But the one that's closest to my home. And I went in there early for something. Dude, everything was merchant. Nothing had been messed up yet. Everything was all. And the people shopping and the people were, and like, man, they were smiling, and it was a different world. I was like, wow, this is an entirely different Walmart experience at, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. You go back there in the middle of the afternoon or.
Yeah, it's totally.
Ooh, you want to move. You want to just say, I'm not. I don't think I want to live anywhere that these people are within a easy drive of where I, and they may be thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. That's a fair thought.
But, so, it was what we were saying about, we're talking, like last week about lemon heads. And apparently you showed that clip off to,
That's right, man. I told them in the store yesterday. I said, look, bro, y'all think I'm here working. I'm just taking notes, and this is all podcast research.
Yeah, and it's true. I had people.
So when you asked me what we talk about on the podcast, this
important things in life.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's funny how certain topics, certain subjects, certain things, everybody's like, "Oh yeah." Our buddy Rick chimed in on a posting saying, "Yeah, I'll get a box of those every time I go on
road trip."
Yeah, we're not gonna talk Lemonheads again this week, y'all. Go back and watch last one. But
that's right. Good stuff, though.
It's a reward. You probably put in a hard day. You look forward to the end of the day when you know you got at least a half a box of Lemonheads.
Right.
Hopefully you didn't forget them in your car.
No, they'll melt and get all stuck together.
That's hard. And then you don't get the one of the best parts of it. The slow, like, okay, the initial and then the
right. It's all straight up punches.
If it's all, yeah, you don't want. Okay, I said we weren't going to talk about them, and we're back into that. It's this week. I get a text from one of my friends that lives down the bayou, and it was just like, I forget what the text said, but it was basically like, "Oh Lord, we got an active shooter at the airport." I'm like, well, I'm just texting. What?
First of all, the fact I don't know that I knew they had an airport down there.
Apparently they do. I've never been. It's in Galliano. It's the I think it's the
I could
only
envision
one
for helipads and stuff.
No, I mean they don't land. I don't think Southwest has a. I don't think Southwest
there's not a terminal.
But I think you could put some pretty decent sized private planes and stuff like King Airs and stuff out of there. But yeah, I mean it's got to be the closest thing to unless Fouchon has a. I don't know. I don't work that scene. But anyway, so I was like, what? And that's the other thing too. An active shooter. Well, what's an inactive shooter? That's not a shooter.
Right. He's held up, hiding in a.
I guess active means it like right now, as we speak, somebody's so and then a little bit later he says, oh man, they got somebody else called out here behind whatever street and they got drones in the air or whatever. I'm like, really? Is that actually going on in an active shooter going on in Galliano and they can't find them?
I saw one day this week. I'm gonna have to go back. Somebody posted on Facebook, one who lives down the bayou, an older lady who said that there were just cop cars flying down the road. I wonder if that was that.
Well,
situation.
it might have been. And as it turns out, and I'm not gonna give the people. I don't even know the guys. I read who it was. They ended up arresting. It was just 3 dudes that decided to go shoot some guns.
Shooting.
God bless America.
I'm thinking there's probably active shooters, down the bayou any given day.
Apparently that was the story. They just were out there, just, hey man, let's go pop a few out here, and didn't have a backdrop, whatever, and I think didn't know they were shooting toward an airport or toward whatever, and then whoever was there thought they were being shot at. And you know what? And full disclosure, right? I don't care if you're intending to shoot at me or not. That's irrelevant.
Right. If a bullet's flying at me, you're shooting at me.
And that's what one of my friends had texted saying, hey, active shooter and whatever, and around, I think whatever police is involved in Port Fouchon. I guess everybody. Apparently that's how it works on the bayou now. If something happens, everybody that has a blue suit and a badge and a gun, they go
a line. Yep.
Yeah, it's all. And I texted my friend back, not for long, man. Some of these guys have been waiting for this. They're like, man, I went through all this. I've been target practicing for 2 years, waiting to have a chance to shoot somebody.
Got to oil up my holster.
Yeah, get out there and do it. But man, look, I told you that I was practicing tennis one time in cutoff. Behind the Cutoff Youth Center, back when they used to have tennis court. I lived on those tennis courts. Now it's just a slab. There's no fence. There's no nets.
There's probably grass growing on the lines.
A little bit. The lines are pretty much gone. I'm out there going every now and then when I'm back home. Oh man!
I bet they still have the poles for the net though.
No, they took those down.
Oh, did they?
I say they took them down. Some couillon probably rolled over them in a truck or something. I mean, I'm sure that's one of those places, especially once tennis courts there and whatever. So I just, people that got some bad stuff they feel like doing, they go to the back of the street to do the bad stuff, right? So Lord only knows some of the bad stuff that's been done on my precious tennis courts that used to be there. But I was playing tennis with, I forget who it was. Shout out. It was either Todd or Eddie or whoever. And I could hear in the distance, somebody was hunting. Right. And all of a sudden, he did. Down the bayou we call that the plans. The little. You never heard called the plans?
Uh-uh.
I think we call them. I think we used to call them the plans. But yeah, the little BBs. The shot. Yeah, you could hear it landing on the court, right? And it happened 2 or 3 times. I don't think they were shooting at us. If they were not a very good shot. But that's when you think, I bet you John McEnroe I bet you John McEnroe, when he was in high school trying to train himself up, didn't have to.
Yeah, could have been. Maybe that's why he's so angry all the time.
Didn't have to be worried about the plans landing all around us. Yeah.
Did it sting or just?
No, it never hit me. You just heard him, and were it not for the obvious shot, and it's probably somebody that. It was probably somebody shooting. They were shooting in the air from wherever they were.
What goes up comes down.
Yeah, it take a few seconds. That's what you hear the gunshot, and again, not close enough that you're like, oh, make you jump, but you heard it, and then just like, oh wait, if it wasn't because the shot, I wouldn't have known what it was. But no, it didn't hit us. But I did gun safety guy. Y'all be careful when y'all shooting guns out there. Make sure there's not an airport behind y'all. That's right.
And who'd thought?
I did that in Cutoff, and this was not all that long ago. I had a new gun, and see, it's hard around here. You got to go to a shooting range around here. There's you can't.
The whole thought about it before. It's not that I shot a bunch of guns growing up, but it's. I don't know that you thought about we got to have a backstop or something.
Well, we never did. We went in the woods.
Yeah.
But before they put that new road behind Cutoff, dude, you could shoot forever. It was never. But now they got a road. You got to wait a minute. And I realized that, again, it was a few years ago. So I would bring, whenever we'd visit Cutoff, I'd bring whatever guns I felt like shooting, because you could shoot. It's you totally right. And I get back there to where I used to, way back of the street where I used to shoot stuff, and then I'm like, what am I hearing? It was always quiet, but I'm hearing the road, because
cars crashing from the bullet. No,
or as my wife knows it as the new road, because we had a new road, but then once they finished it,
you got the new road.
The new road. So I had to, instead of doing what I would normally shoot, I was like, well, let me find an area where I'm obviously not shooting toward a house and not shooting toward, I didn't have an official backdrop,
right?
But I wasn't shooting at an airport either. So but this is where you will stop. This is where your let's play with the guns stops. So I'm shooting, I want to, like a tree or something. And then I guess I shot down at something just to see if I could. And I guess I did not realize, because here's something you will not find a lot of in Cutoff, Louisiana. Rocks. There's no rocks.
That's true.
Seriously, man. I don't even know how. I don't even know why. How? Like an alien may have put a sizable rock or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You won't find them. You can dig. You can dig to China from Cutoff, and you're not gonna hit. Right? It's no rock.
Yeah, that's wet.
You know what happens when you shoot a 9mm and it catches a rock the right way?
It's called ricochet.
Do you remember back in the Western movies? It was always pew, pew. Dude, you hear one of those in real life? Over. It's over. Go. That's it. Man, and then thankfully I was, I probably shot at something about, I don't know, 20 yards away, 30 yards away. There is nothing. I guess being shot at would be worse.
Well, shot at and missed, because if you're shot at and hit, you're hit before you hear it.
Bro, it depends where you get hit.
Yeah, I guess.
You can, but that's an eye-opening, because that pew means that's going somewhere else. That's what I did. I was like, okay, that's my adrenaline shot for today. I'm good. I'm not doing this anymore. That's a morbid conversation.
Pick up your shell casings and roll.
Nah, you don't pick that up out there. That's biodegradable. Biodegradable. Somebody else will find those things. You think about that, all those stuff we do with me. Who picks up their shotgun shells? Nobody. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's well, whatever. But what was it on Oh, I said morbid conversation, but I was talking to my my nephew, the Marine, ex-Marine, whatever. So he's a gun enthusiast as well. And we're talking about how conversation, like, man, what happens if somebody coming at you, or might have been that time I think I told the story about the guy who may have been on meth, that wanted to steal some stuff, and I was like, well, how do you, like double tap or whatever? And he basically said they train you shoot, it's two and one. You shoot twice for the torso and then one in the hip. Go figure. Why do you think that is?
I have no clue. I was hoping you would explain.
Takes you out structurally. Like because you hear all these stories, like either these big guys or these they're either on something, people that are right. And if they get shot and it doesn't take like it's possible people get shot all the time. But when you shoot a hip, you're basically taking out. That's it. When you can't stand, you can't, Now, guys, I hope nobody ever has to do that. Okay. And that's,
But if you need to,
hey,
now
listen, if you got some high meth, you've got a 6'6" high meth head coming at you, you might think, and you happen to be armed. You're welcome.
Right. It's like NBC used to run that stuff. Doom, doom, doom. The more you know.
The more you know. The more you know. And I believe they even teach this to Marines. So there you go. There you go.
Right. God bless America.
And we went from talking about lemon heads to how to take out somebody by shooting them in the hip.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Man, we're here. We're here for it. We're here to help, folks. We're here to help. So what else are we looking at? Get the active shooter. We'll talk about something else a little bit later on. Oh, and I'm just checking down the thing. We need an agreement now. The church you go to is not. You guys use pews?
No, we have chairs.
Chairs. We got to come to some agreement in the future. Just those of us that do use pews. Don't ask us to slide. You shouldn't. I mean, like, if you get there early, and maybe it's just designed wrong. If you get there early enough, man, you earn an aisle.
Exactly. And I go to church regardless. Yeah. If I'm in a church with pews or a church with chairs, I'm sitting on the end and you're not.
Don't shame us. That's, you know what I'm saying? Don't. No. We realize there's a lot of people here. And I was at a mass yesterday, man. Oh, it must have been 1,600 people, 17. It's just, if we could just come in and like, no, bro, I got here early. Of course, we weren't. We were the. This is how you know, and that's the other thing too, is when church becomes competitive. To get there on time, like in the old days, you showed up at mass 30 minutes early. You picking where you want to sit,
right? Boy, not on Easter.
Picking where you want to park. Well, this week it's Easter week, right? So this was both on a Wednesday and third. I'm close to a preach this week, man. I mean, I went to church,
throw out some blessings.
I'm home. Yeah. And man, these are the long masses. And my wife's giving me grief about it, but she's leading by example.
I'm like that. The whole, like, people who at my church, they do music on the front end. So they'll do 20, 25 minutes of music. And to me, that's the best part. I love the live music, but some people like to skip that and just come for the,
right,
the service part. Well, mine is a large church and it's got, raised seating, balcony, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. Think of a small arena. Well, they're coming in that, 20 minutes in or on the last song and trying to go sit in the third row. I mean, take it back, man. You want to sit up there? Get here on time. Go sit up top where they got all kind of seats.
It's so funny, man. I always do. Yeah, I catch myself doing that, and I will confess I'm bad this way. Well, I'll be in church thinking, okay, I'm moving backwards right now. I'm annoyed. I'm not supposed to be like, I'm not being very.
Oh yeah, I'm sit down and get ticked off. Yeah,
I'm not being very church-like right now. Some of the thoughts going through my head saying, "What? Wait, what? You just come walking on in."
Yeah, I've seen ushers get somebody who is deep in prayer Yeah, and tap them on the shoulder and say, "Hey, could somebody could let these people pass by so they could sit in that seat?"
Yeah, yeah. That's.
Now I've talked to my pastor, and he won't do it. I said, you should do personal seating licenses."
They did that
And
back in the day.
right,
They
I
did
said
that
I'd
back in the
pay
day.
extra. I said I would pay extra to have these 2 seats every week at this service.
Show up when I want to show up. Oh, they sold parking spots at church. Oh man. But that was yesterday. So we got there 30 minutes early yesterday, dude. 30 minutes early. We had to sit in the center pew. I mean,
Oh man.
Dude, back. And you're driving around and
you didn't ask me if they'd mind sliding now?
No, by the time I got in, my wife said I dropped her off. That's how bad it is. All right, you get off. I'm gonna go find a parking spot across the street. Text me where you are. And this is true. So we're driving.
Do that all the time. If we're not there early, yeah, I get antsy about it. And Joey always drives because she don't want to drive me driving. But I said, drop me off. I'm going to get a seat. And generally, I'm in the second section from the left, the 7th row up on the end.
You know where to look for me.
That's right.
See, this is what happened yesterday. And it's, again, sometimes you have moments that they're not fun when they're happening, but you realize that, oh, if somebody was filming this, if we'd had a camera, it looks made up, right? So the parking lot's already filling up. You sort of navigating through the parking lot, and my wife's telling me, you're going too fast, you're going to hit somebody. I'm like, well, okay, there'd be a spot open up. Good. I mean, so I get there and the people behind me probably doing the same thing. You don't want to be that person, right? There's no worse human being than the person who's blocking everybody else while they're waiting for somebody to pull out of a spot.
Right.
Right. Or you're letting somebody out the car. And so my wife said, okay. And I didn't think she'd do it. I would normally say, look, I'll just drop you off. She would normally say, no. This time she did. I'm like, oh, it must be serious. She wants to get out of the car. So she gets out, and as she's walking around, I start driving away, and I'm in her car, and it starts making a. She had the keys.
Oh, you can make
it. Well, had I thought about it, I would have, but I went, oh, so I stopped and I put the window down, and she'd already walked past some cars. So I'm hitting the horn. Sid, you got the keys. Oh, so she comes running over, right? And then to hand me the keys, and if they're the people aren't being mean behind, but I got some people behind me.
Right. Get your hand out and wave.
And we're now the center of attention and she's carrying a big old purse this time, and she can't find the keys. It's somewhere down at the bottom.
I'd say just put your purse in the car.
That's what. And she just says, just pull over. So you know what I did? I pulled over. I just went, oh, okay. And I just pulled over to the right. Then she got mad at me saying, you almost rolled over me. And I'm like, no,
it's a frantic situation.
No, I didn't. If I'd have turned into you, that's trying to roll over you, I turned right. But I don't know. Maybe she was standing near I don't know how far the tires missed her feet by, but that's an interesting way to begin.
Well, those people who park, but also the people who back into a spot.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
When there's 30 cars behind them.
Okay, no, I won't do that. No. No, not if there's 30 cars behind me. But I will find, if I'm there early enough to pull it off. Yeah, I will try. But so
my mother-in-law will back into a spot, even though she could pull through that spot and park, front end out.
Now,
just across.
That's a different level of psychotic. That's no, just pull across. Don't increase the, no, this is where I want to pull out. This is exactly where I'm saying. People are going to do what they're going to do. So we're looking forward to, by the time you guys see this, it'll be Easter's will have passed, but we're getting ready to
you'll be eating some candy.
Easter. And realized my younger son was off on Friday, and then doesn't have to work on Saturday, doesn't have to be at work on Monday. So I was like, oh, and I know he's not, I figured he's not doing, he had any plans for the weekend. So I'm fly, put it on them, fly you in. And I know it's sort of one of those, the parents want to see the kids more than the kids want to see the parents.
Oh God, trust me, they don't outgrow that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm like, I'm going to try to make it as, I'm not going to ask him to drive it because it's a good drive, and I mean,
Yeah.
weather was kind of crappy and,
Oh yeah,
so
yesterday was bad.
yeah. So I'm not going to say like, yeah, dude, I need, I want you to drive. I know you think, I know you didn't have anything doing for the weekend. So let me slap 12 hours of driving on it. So I was, you know what? I'm use some points, United points, and I'll fly them. All right. And looked at it and that way, hey, look, it's about an hour drive from Thibodeau to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what, I'm gonna even make it, like I don't feel guilty, but I'm like, all right. So I even first class. I use points to
Dude, all right.
I know, okay. But it's one of those things. It's not even that much of a difference because it's such a short flight.
Yeah.
So news flash out there to anybody. If you're ever thinking about spending a little extra money on a first class flight from New Orleans to Houston, don't. It's there's nothing, right? They don't even serve food. Well, anyway, and I was teasing him
He
about.
should have brought his guitar because then people would have said, "Oh man, this dude's got some longer hair. He could be
No
somebody."
joke. That's exactly it. I said, man, act like you belong in first class, dude, because you can
At
wear
61 years old, that's how I still think.
That's exactly. They're looking at who's this guy, and I'm not even going to get into like it's kind of funny. He showed up. He showed up like God love him. He showed up like a guy who, all right, my dad said, spend a couple days like, he, and my wife gave him I don't know whatever these shoes are now. I say that's it. What's it called? And she's listening. They're comfortable shoes. To me, they look like slippers. They're kind of they're soft inside lined. They said all the kids are wearing them now, and I can't even remember what the heck it is. But to me, they look like slippers. They're not. People wear them. Apparently, that's being on college. Everybody wears them. They look like slippers.
Mm-hmm.
So he got no socks. He's got on some slippers. Barista looking, ski cap kind of deal on. I was like, man, a few years ago they would definitely have searched you. Like they would say that guy looks like. So anyway, I kind of played it up saying, dude, enjoy it, man. Go big balling, dude. Just come in there, get to the airport early. Get yourself some lunch, couple beers, whatever. And he did, and everything was going great. Well, yesterday was a little bit of a mess, right? So we went to I was going to church in the afternoon, but I knew I had time to pick him up, and I could tell you could tell that flights started running late early, right? Like apparently United has just this plane that just probably just goes back and forth to Houston, right? So once they get a little bit behind, they never catch up.
Right.
So I figured, okay, he's probably going to be 30 minutes late, maybe. And but I got to play. It's first class, man. Get in there and make sure get your money's worth. Get a beer, get a wine, whatever. Just right. So they board them. I forget how late, but I told him. So he texted me. All right, we're on the plane because I'm trying to time it. I'm gonna leave.
Right. So when to leave.
So I drive raining like it's terrible here. It's just. So I drove through Houston traffic in the rain to go. It took me about not quite an hour to get north of the city to get to the airport. I pulled into a hotel parking lot. That's the way to do it, by the way. Hey, again, travel trips to anybody out there. These like cell phone lots and stuff like that. Stay out of those things, man. Find a hotel somewhere near.
What is a cell phone lot? You just pull in and wait for somebody to call you.
You don't get charged to park. It's you have to be. You can't leave a car there, but you can pull in and just wait.
Pulling short, yeah.
Because they don't want what all these other couillons are doing. They just circling the airport and trying to park and so I get there again. I've just driven through all this rain. I get there and I put myself. I'm about 5 minutes out of the airport now, parking lot. Let me pull it up and see. And I'm gonna see what time they left. And then when I pull up 360, Live 360, it shows my son still in New Orleans. And I'm like, hang on, maybe it just did. Sometimes it'll be like,
won't update.
Okay. Nope, updated now. Huh? Wait, maybe Live 360 is messing up. Let me go to Apple, find my phone. Updated now. He's in New Orleans. So my head, I don't know where it goes. I'm thinking, he probably had a couple beers,
got off the plane,
fell asleep in a chair, or went do something else. I said, man, I bet he missed this flight, and he doesn't want to tell us, or doesn't want to tell me. So I call just randomly. I figured there's no way it's going to answer. He answers. He's sitting on the plane. And then, dude, this is me. I was half playing, but half not. I'm like, bro, where you are? And he's talking low, right? He's got the headsets on. He's talking low. I'm on the plane. I said, you were not on the plane, dude. You boarded that thing over an hour ago. Now I'm on. We're just sitting here. I said, what? I said, send me a picture. So he sends me a picture like of out the window, like looking at something like out the window. Text him back. You're not even in that. I don't even know that's you. He sends me another picture. It's just him in the chair, and him in the seat. I'm like, that could be in the terminal, right?
Yeah, send me the newspaper to show me your watch.
And then he texts me a picture of like the people, like I guess the aisle. I'm like, what? So man, so this is why United. Oh man, and I'm a United because I have to fly.
Yeah,
sucks. Oh man, airlines. Yeah. So this is where they get you. It's a bad weather day. They pull them, and we're running late. So heaven forbid. So they pull them out from the gate, taxiing. That's what happened. That's why I misread. I saw on the app, whenever you see taxiing to the runway, right? You figure, oh, that plane's gone.
Yeah, they're moving.
It says departed. Yeah, that's the lies they tell you. The app literally says flight departed.
The
and
gate.
then I read on taxiing to the runway. That means you're good. So they pull them back. And so now you're on an active runway, right? They sat there for over an hour. God. I said, dude, you get any even like a water? No. They finally fly, and apparently it was a pretty rough flight.
If he had that hat on, he was probably hot because I don't think they run the air.
Well, whatever. He wears that kind of hat in the middle of summer. It doesn't bother him. But so they fly, whatever they fly, they land, and then there was no gate in Houston, right, once they get here. So my point of this long story about United first class, y'all suck. Literally, he spent about 3 hours on that plane.
For
never saw the first flight attendant. Didn't get a water, didn't get a bag of pretzels.
Well, at least he had a comfy seat though, man. It would
have been
said worse.
That. Oh, it was so fun. He said, I don't know. I don't think first class is much different than coach. And I'm like, oh, you talking like a guy whose butt has not been right. He's flown a lot of coach. Well, he's always flown coach, obviously, but not as nearly as much. And I'm like, oh, bro, trust me. I said, you think the person
you'd have been sitting on that plane for an hour doing nothing, you'd have noticed it.
What you think the person sitting on row 14 center seat right now is no, but so what happened with me is, so I get out there, and so now I'm in Houston, on the other side, an hour away, and I can't go home, so I'm waiting on, so that's why you go to a hotel, guys. Got out, went into the Sheraton, lovely lobby, nice people, got a beverage, sat down.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm here.
Should have told him they probably had a shuttle run into the Sheraton that he could have caught. Just meet you there.
You know what, bro? Oh no, that'd have been a lot of explaining, because the hardest part of this was once he lands, and again, it's my own stupidity because I don't normally pick people up at the airport. For all the traveling I do, it's usually I don't. So he lands, right, and he texts me. We landed. Great. And I'm figuring how much time I get, and it's raining, and it's in Houston Airport. They've been fixing it for like the last 17 years. It's a train wreck. And but then didn't realize that they landed, but they had no gate. So I've probably flown out of this airport 200, 300 times. I drove through parts of that airport last night that I've never seen. I mean, just trying to circle and kill time, and I ended up driving back to the Sheraton. I probably drove 15 miles back and said, let me know when you get to a gate. I would be a terrible Uber driver.
Man.
I'd be terrible.
Well, I don't know. How long did it take once he landed?
About 30 minutes. It was we're glad to see him, happy to see him. We joked about a bunch of stuff. It was good to have him here. But
what y'all doing for Easter?
I think I'm grilling. I think I'm gonna, because here's the deal. We like doing the authentic, the traditional Easter's stuff. But my guys don't even eat that. Like, I like ham. They don't. It's kind of funny. This is weird. So, like, I got a son who can, he's an adult, but he's low maintenance on stuff like I am on some things, right? He can eat a ham and cheese sandwich every day of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he that's his go-to. But a ham, like slice of ham, you don't really care for that. It's like, how does that? So my thing is, well, if we're gonna cook or do something, let me just do something everybody eats.
Look, I'll tell you what, I can feel that, man. I'm not big on sliced ham. I'll eat a ham sandwich.
There you go.
I was freaking people out this week in the convenience store when I was working in the Vienna Sausage section, and I told them, I said, "Oh, bruh, y'all want to talk about a good after-school snack, a Vienna sausage sandwich?" And I explained, I said, you got to slice it in half so it doesn't roll off the bread. Dude, they all thought I was lying and crazy. I said, should. Oh, please, bro. I said, y'all may think y'all country, but you ain't Vienna sausage sandwich country.
You should have cracked open a can right there to show them. Say, hand me that loaf of Evangeline right there.
Yeah.
In fact, this is what I wanted to do last week when we were staying in that dumpy hotel. I had an uncle through marriage years ago. He's no longer here, but I remember he told us a story on a fishing trip, and it's kind of funny. People tell you, so dude, this must have been 40-something years ago, maybe 50. He was on a fishing trip, and he said he's talking about his good old country boy, and they're out there, a young guy like in his teens or something with whoever they're fishing with, and fishing for a while. It's time people get hungry. Let's do like lunch. And he said the guy opened up a can of Vienna sausage and drank the juice. and then pulled them out and ate them. Said it's a big old boy. That's the first thing he did. He drank the juice.
Did he get the gelatinous stuff off and put that on his finger and lick that?
I don't remember that part of the story, but I do remember hearing the story about the guy that his first move was open the Vienna sausage, drink the juice, and then, dude, if I was on an island, right, I'd have to think
your lips were splitting.
Man, if I was on an island, parched. Well, no, there's enough sodium in there. That's not what you. But I'm saying, if you're on an island and you're thinking, man, I just need caloric intake, like I need. For survival, I need caloric intake. Even I would think, do I want to drink the Vienna sausage juice? Probably not. But there you go.
Well, back to Easter. We boil crawfish, so that's our.
On Easter Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. A lot of folks do that on Friday for
right. All those people making that ultimate sacrifice of not having meat on Good Friday.
Hey man, look. I know that was us yesterday. Cheese quesadillas for lunch and cheese pizza. We didn't do much. Yeah, it's not exactly not a sacrifice. Not a sacrifice, but man, is the thought that counts.
I did hear though, talking about Easter stuff, that because of the price of eggs, true story, a lot of people are dyeing potatoes as opposed to dyeing eggs and calling them Easter spuds. What?
This is the year 2023. You know what I'm saying? Like, how messed up have we allowed things to get that eggs, or it's bizarre. It's in the Easter. Well, actually, when they're watching this after Easter, so it'll pass. But I was thinking about again. It was a long mass yesterday. It was like 2 hours, so I had plenty of time to think, and I know I'm supposed to be paying attention, and I try. And I don't even know how I got to the point of something got in my head, and it was politics or something. And I realized that as it gets worse and worse and worse, as the political environment gets worse and as everything deteriorates, you get even worse politicians in because nobody with a brain in their head or any kind of nobody wants to do it, right? And I thought about that, like the stuff that's going on right now, state houses being raided and all the nonsense. And I'm thinking, who wants to do that, man? I mean, like, so what happens? It's easy to break stuff, man. It's easy to break stuff and it's hard to put it back together. But yeah, eggs. Who knew? Who flipping you? I bet you right now, because I refuse to let my wife throw them away. I'll bet you we got some eggs that was probably Best Buy about a month or two ago. All right.
That don't mean they're bad.
Don't mean they're bad. Because that's how they get you. That's a trick. I got news for you guys. Unless it's like bread where you can look at it and see that, yeah, they got mold growing on it. We talk about them Best Buy dates. That's a trick.
No, I saw some, the wine in a box, or bag of wine in a box yesterday in the store. It was Best Buy September of 2020.
Still good.
That's right. I gave it to him. I just put it behind the counter.
Aged. It's aged well.
Right.
It's airtight, bro. Airtight. That's good. That's good. I can't tell you how box wine ages. I don't know what.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think we're doing we're not going to have an Easter egg hunt. I never liked them anyway. Growing up, I couldn't stand. Too competitive, man. Why you want to turn a nice Easter lunch and whatever to, we're gonna go hide eggs. Oh yeah, let's because I'm too competitive, man. I don't want to lose the Easter egg hunt, right?
Well, this is also the thing, I can remember when my kids were small enough to have Easter egg hunts, and we always did put candy in the plastic egg.
Right.
4 or 5 months later, when I'm cutting grass, I find this egg that nobody found. Well, now people doing the whole Easter spuds. You're gonna be growing potatoes in your backyard on some place where nobody found an egg.
The way society's breaking down, growing potatoes in your backyard might not be a bad
deal. So
might not be a bad deal. Get on there. Like we used to joke about chickens. I wish I had some chickens.
A lot of people have them now.
Yeah, you can't. I can't in my neighborhood, but heck yeah, man, that's a good pet to have. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a cat. That cat don't do squat, man. That cat don't bring nothing. A chicken.
Take care of your grass.
Once a day, chicken go. There you go. Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me. Here's the rent.
No, my daughter. Somebody posted on the neighborhood Facebook page that they were looking for somebody to hide Easter eggs for their kids. Like on the night before Easter. Mm-hmm. So they're going to pay her. Heck yeah, she's doing it. Then because she got that gig, now she got a second one.
So your daughter's being paid to hide Easter eggs.
Yeah.
God bless America. That's you must live in a country club or something, bro. I mean,
I don't know. She's making good money. But the challenge is, I'm not letting her go out there at night in somebody else's random yard by herself. So either my wife or I should have to go out there.
I was about to say, what, you going to send your wife with her?
Yeah.
Well, probably so she don't know it.
I think they can hear me. So I'm saying,
yeah. Look, man, and it's worse. And I hope it dries up. But that's the other thing too, man. A lot of yards are soggy right now.
Yeah, it rained a lot.
Yeah, man, you're gonna be hiding. You'd be hiding eggs in those crawfish domes. Remember those things growing up?
That was a cool place to hide an egg, though, man.
I know. Stick your hand in there. See what you No, that was a tradition. The tradition was we our family always had my dad and his brothers and sisters. So we always had Thanksgiving. Somebody else had Easter. Somebody else had Christmas. And so, but the Easter tradition was that. And then sometime around 2 or 3 o'clock, all the uncles, all the brothers would just fall into those diabetic nap comas. Right. I mean, like
open your belt.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody pigs out. They talk. Next thing you look around and there's like 5, 6 guys just loud. Believe it or not, our house was loud. Yeah, that's my wife. It took her a while to adjust to coming to any like family function. She was always like, the volume. Like, well, that's how we are, y'all. We are not a place for the quiet.
Well, you gotta just tune it in, tune it out.
Yeah. That's and as you get older, the good thing about getting older was I just walk across the street. You kind of come in, you do the lunch, kind of stay away from the and it was the people on the egg hunts that would sort of cheat. They're kind of like giving their kids hints like, hey, we'll stand over there. Now, I should say that I probably would have done the same thing, right? When I like my kid, I don't want my kid to lose. You don't want to be like Charlie Brown. I got rocks.
Yeah. Growing up as a kid, we'd go to my papa's house, and he had probably 4 or 5 acres, and that was his backyard.
Jeez.
And it must have probably been 20 of us, all about the same age. Big families then. And so you had to not just go find eggs, we had to sprint and go all over the place.
That's a professional. We got a 5-acre Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old days, man. Good old days. So this is, again, we were talking last week right before the LSU Iowa championship game. So and that is happened. And so congrats. So there you go, Juan. Do you have being a Baton Rouge resident, I mean, does the air smell fresher? Is the sun shining brighter? Are you feeling like
it was, I missed the parade. I was out of town. Not that I would have gone. But
yeah, so
it was a good day, a good game.
So congrats. Well, no, it wasn't. It was a horrific game. And that's the thing. I was texting with, I got a buddy of mine that's an LSU grad. He's just anything's just, he's so funny. If you told him, hey man, there's an LSU player that's convicted of murdering somebody, he'd be like, well, who hasn't murdered somebody every now and then, man? that guy's good for 112 yards a game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of these will make an excuse for. And my point was, look, I think LSU was the better team. I think in a fairly played game, I'd give LSU the odds there. That was not a fairly played. It was a horrible game. The referees were just absolutely.
The referees injected themselves so much in that game.
It was terrible. It was right. And the thing about it is, and this is what I told my friend and somebody else. It'd be roughly akin what ends up happening in that game if LSU, when they won the football championship, Joe Burrow, a few years ago, it'd have been like in the third quarter, if the referees would have said, you know what, Burrow's got to sit down for the next whatever, and we'll let Burrow back in on the game later on when you're down 21, right? Good luck. That was about how it played out. And then, but again, glad they won. It was just a terrible. It was not good. And I don't know if it's Louisiana, y'all. Why we gotta be like we are sometimes, right? That instead of it being everybody talks about LSU's championship and coming, you know what I'm saying? It's like a first time, the Kim Mulkey, it's all about trash talking this, trash talking that. And then even the first lady gets involved. You saw that?
Oh, Lord, that was so...
Now, it's hard.
Look, I'm glad the girl said, no, thank you. No, we're not,
Well, everybody, how do you do something that makes it worse, right? Let's think about this for a second. It takes a lot of talent to take a situation that's already bad. It shouldn't be bad, right? But, all the things coming in here and oh, she does this, disrespect, there's that whole cult.
But let me tell you, this is what I thought. So, look, I'm all about it. You want to play the game and you dish it out, take it, that's fine. But there are a lot of people here who were trashing the girl for the whole John Cena you don't see me move.
I didn't even really know that's what it was. Or somebody said
I didn't either.
John Cena
I didn't either. I didn't know. I had to look it up to see what hand in the face, what does that mean? But those same people, let me tell you something, go back to the Joe Burrow season. The first game of the 2019 season, they were playing Texas. And at the end of the game, Joe Burrow stood on the bench and faced the Texas crowd and did the beauty pageant wave.
Yeah.
We loved it. Loved it. In the Southeastern Conference Championship, when he threw like 6 touchdown passes, Joe's walking off the field after a touchdown, counting on his fingers how many passes he had thrown. Fourth quarter, in the championship game, Joe's acting like he's sizing a ring on his hand. It was great.
Right.
The problem with, I think, is there are a ton of people who watch no sports who will watch championships. I don't watch any women's sports. Zero. Nothing against it. I'm just not a fan. I started watching LSU women's basketball the weekend before the championship. First time I'd ever watched.
You like most people that are mad right now. You like most people that have a strong opinion on how, and look, and that's the thing.
Right. So that's my thing is you don't have, you got no clue what sports is about. So now you're suddenly mad, but you're just somebody popping in here for the party.
Now, the other thing too is there's a difference. And I think, again, and everybody, man, listen, okay. And you can line up the pointing at the ring stuff, Burrow and all this other stuff. If you're taunting fans, right? It's when you're like on the, and if you're in the game, people trash talk all the time.
Right.
Right. It's when it's like, look, it's over. This should be the shining moment. This is right. I've proved that it's not the time to like go, because I am
track her down.
Man, listen. And without getting too deep, I was talking to somebody about that. I said, what you think that person, what's her name, Caitlin Clark, what kind of stuff you think she has said to her every game? I'd love that young lady to wear a mic playing the game, because I promise you, she's getting called stuff out there.
Well, but they also said that, see, because Reese, I don't even know her first name, Angel Reese, maybe.
Yeah,
she didn't play her whole career at LSU, so she played somewhere on the East Coast.
That's how this works out, yeah.
And played against her before. And I think they had some history.
Well, history. Here's the history. It's a little bit of jealousy. I mean, because she's it, dude. This is no lie. Iowa this past week had to shut down ticket sales. They already have
for next year. Yeah.
They've got 6,200 requests for season ticket packages already. So I'll be curious to see how much, and this is with the NIL's a new world, man. It's bizarro world. It's like,
well, I assure you, and they all do it. Not 10 minutes after that game was over, because we have season football tickets, so we're on the TAF list, the Tiger Athletic Foundation, offer to buy season tickets for women's basketball. An email for that, all the merch they're selling.
Yeah.
So it's all a money machine.
Yeah. So that's what's going to be. That's what's different. You can have a team that was not. It used to be in college, man. You could tell, like, man, we're going to stink for the next few years because we got no bench. We got nobody coming up. Now it's just like you just go get them.
Right.
I'm curious to see.
Right, and it's all money. So all those girls and Kim Mulkey were at Raising Cane's on the LSU campus.
I saw that
Monday or Tuesday. Yeah,
rock and roll.
And look, their NIL deals with him, and we all know I have a connection to Cane's, so love it and good on them. But those are recruiting tools.
It's a different world. So Mattress Mac, a guy here in Houston's everybody knows Mattress Mac. He's the guy that made the biggest bet in the history and whatever. Right. And he's just a super, super guy. And I don't know how the stuff with NIL works, but Houston, it would have been huge if Houston made the Final Four. They didn't, and Texas didn't. So he sort of just like adopted Florida Atlantic, and through the NIL, he flew the parents of that team to, like, he paid for their so they got some good things that come out of it, but it's professional sports, y'all. It's all it is. There's no such thing anymore as college athletics are just a different kind of pro.
Right. 9 girls on the LSU basketball team this year weren't on the team last year.
Well, like Deion Sanders showing up to Colorado saying, "Hey, man,
just because you're here."
Y'all, yeah. Some of y'all need to get in the portal right now, because just want to be honest, this is what's coming. But so more power to them. Glad they won. Glad they won. And then the first lady decides to make everything worse by saying, "Why don't we invite the team that lost too?" Why would and you know what? To her defense, I don't think she pays attention to that. And she's at the game. She's like, "Oh, they both played so hard, and it'd be so nice if what I'm saying." I don't think she even realizes how disrespectful it is to the team that won to say, "Yeah, but we're gonna bring that other team here too." And the flip side of that is the team that lost saying, "No, we don't need the mercy trip. Yay! Everybody gets a trophy. Yay!"
Yeah, they need a take care of the first lady like they do her husband, and you're not allowed to say anything somebody didn't approve.
Man, you notice
have to walk it back.
Dude, did you see? I guess they did the Easter thing the other day, bro. or whatever. Man, do you notice she's having to do a lot more? Like, ooh. I even told that to my wife. You can just see the clip, and I'm like, wow, if that's the best footage they can show, oh man. if that's what's getting cleared. Anyway, guys, I think it's time.
That's right, man.
Push that button. Get on out here. See if it's stuck to the magic tape in the sky. If you want to reach us, we're here. You know, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com and a plethora of other ways. You know,
Right, you can talk to us on social media. We're all over social media. Find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, wherever you're watching us now. Send us a message there. We'll check it out. And tell a friend. Put this in somebody's Easter basket.
And we'll be looking.
It could be a belated Easter gift.
Belated Easter. And we're still looking for that lemon head endorsement deal to come in. So that's
working on that.
We'd love nothing more than just to have a little thing gone across, you know.
I'll wear a lemon head hat.
Sponsored by
just a whole lemon head.
What are we gonna do, right? But yeah, so there it is. We tell you every week, even a little more than tell you.
Yeah, we
insist,
we strongly encourage,
demand, freaking mandate,
bro.
Hey y'all, give it a shot. Get out there and have the best week of your life. Try to, even if it gets off to a slow start. You know, man, maybe the food on Easter was like, man, she messed up that casserole this year. I was looking forward to that casserole.
Right. If the Easter spuds weren't exactly something that thrilled your kids.
Okay, then just remember that's not the true meaning of Easters. No, you know, you got food, you got a roof over your head. Yeah, hey, rock and roll. So just go with it. Even if it gets off to a slow start, keep fighting. Make it the best week you possibly can. We'll come back next week. We'll look at it.
We'll make it a better one.
Make it a better one. Starts with, you try with a great hour. You're welcome.
Right.
And just build from there.
Yeah, go for an hour and a half. Go for 2 hours, bro.
Man, that's about the mass I was at yesterday. It was it was a while, but I'm feeling holy now. I'm doing good. All right, everybody. So it's already happened. We hope you had one. Hope you had a fantastic week and Easter, and have a great week ahead. And we'll see you in about a week. All right.
All right, we'll be here.
Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. I'm working the one today, but we're gonna go tomorrow. But today will be shorter as well, just because they stick to it's the same service. They're very consistent on that. He's not gonna stretch it. But I'll get up there sometimes, and behind me there's what they call the confidence monitors. It's big TV screens that has the lyrics to the songs for the singers, but it also has notes. If he's reading a scripture, it's going to be on the monitor. But it's got a countdown clock. It's how much longer is this going to last? Oh man, I got 30 more minutes, and then. But I also sometimes play games with myself. That it's like, okay, I know his sermon's 35 minutes. Let me see. It feels like it's been about 18. Let me see. 17 minutes left.
Oh man, yeah. When we were young, I think we used to. When you had the option, you do a little pre-shopping. Who's saying that mass? Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one you want to go to. That's the one. With us, it was Father Freddy, Fast Freddy. Oh, he was great. He was good. Make the point and let's go, man. You actually walked out of there feeling more, right?
Right. You felt like you won.
Follow us for more church hacks.